Hey everybody, and welcome to session 0.5, I guess, of our Lancer campaign. We are going to be doing a lot of world building today. Jeremy has this unique card system that he has made to help us kind of give us prompts and things to help flesh out this world. But before we get started, how about we introduce ourselves? Quinn, why don't you go first? I'll go second.
Oh, I'm first this time. I'm Dingby Draws. I like to draw. I'm just the art guy in the group, as every group needs an art guy. And yeah, I play Cece, the cuttlefish inside of a robot inside of a mech.
And I am Seth, or Noctopus on any other social media place, but here, I don't know what I was gonna say after this. Normally I have other things to plug, but I don't this time. That's me.
Hi everyone, I'm Jeremy. I'm going to be the GM for this game, and I'm going to be running this exercise of what I'm calling Project Cartography Name Pending, parentheses, WIP. I am known online as Balatro, mostly on TikTok or Reddit if you see my maps, and that is me. Oh, and I wrote this. I don't know if we're plugging at the beginning. So.
Yeah, plug whatever you want.
There we go. Cool. So, we are currently jumping into Roll20. So, what we're going to be doing today is a little bit of a world-building exercise to get us started in our Lancer game. We're starting basically with nothing. And we're going to use this improv game that I have created to build out our world and get to know our characters somewhat. So, how this works is, each player is going to get a hand of cards that have improvisational prompts that are going to kind of help them, give them suggestions for things to add to this map that we're going to be building together. There are three kinds. So there is there's four kinds. Location, adjustment, lore, and character. Location adds a location to the map. Adjustment yes-ands those locations and changes them or tweaks them in some way. Lore builds kind of more ephemeral, zoomed out stuff about this world and this map. And character specifically relates to your characters. They're going to be asking questions about your character and your character's relationship with this location and the people that can be found here. And those cards will be dealt into your hands in Roll20. And I guess we could go over that real quick. I want to make sure that you guys know how to do it. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to deal you each 3 cards. And at the beginning of your turn, you get one more card. So in Roll20, if you click on your hand, you should be able to zoom in and read the cards because the text will be really small. If you want to play a card, just drag it from your hand, place it on the map, and then it'll pop up.
Exodia. Excellent.
Yeah, I end my turn in defensive position.
Untap, upkeep. Okay.
Actually, on the stack.
In response, does it resolve? All right. Anyone else?
Are you paying the tax?
Pokemon.
Any more fun bits?
Okay. But to begin, before we start playing those, there are a couple of things to go over. So first is establishing our setting. Now let's check out our Roll20 map. This is the planet of Oroko. Oroko is a acidic-based planet that has a huge Saturn storm-sized storm of acid rain that blows across the surface of the planet, and in its wake just annihilates everything. But everything here has adapted to that, and it is actually quite a verdant planet, and the plant life has adapted so that it grows back extremely quickly. So in the wake of that great storm, there is usually a period of like desolation, but it's very quickly followed by a period of regrowth. We are starting our story in one of the peaks of those periods of regrowth. The storm is quite a ways away on the other side of the planet. Here in this on this land. So this is only one tiny section of the planet, kind of centered around the Mekaten terraforming station here in the middle. The terraforming station is controlled by the Algoric, and they're a human-based faction that is attempting to terraform this planet. They're up here on the right. You can see they have that off-world station. Then we have Megalith, where Seth's character is from. Megalith is a gigantic tower that reaches all the way to space and goes all the way down to the core. controlled by revolutionary communist robots.
Yay.
Down here is Granny's Tower, which is a space elevator that is illegally run and is a black market, kind of occult-themed criminal space elevator. And then down here at the bottom we have the Sulfur Wastes, which is essentially an ocean of like dried crystalline salt and sulfur, which is home to the Coven. That is our basic starting point, where we're going to start with this little world building activity. But to begin, I wanted to have each player add one location to the map that is no more complex than there is a location here, or there's a base here, or this is a forest. So add a location that's very vague that we can expand upon later.
And this is not related to the cards yet. This is just
this is establishing a baseline basically. So the idea is the cards will get really specific. These first few locations, these first one that each one of us is going to add, should be just kind of general to add a little bit more to this landscape. So why don't we start with you, Seth? You should be able to draw and roll 20.
It's been a while.
Yeah, mouse drawing and roll 20.
Yeah.
Oh, are we now?
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Oh, the artist.
Artists.
Okay.
I actually have your hand-me-down one that I didn't plug in. I guess I should have thought.
I also have my tablet. I can't use it because of the way my windows are set up. I can't do it right now. Okay. I'm thinking, what's this sort of gray area below southwest of Granny's Tower?
So I can tell you what I was thinking when I made this basic map, but I think it's more interesting if you tell me what you think it is.
Okay. I'm thinking that this area here is a large, like, petrified forest.
Ooh.
And these trees are hard enough, like they're stronger than steel, the way that these trees have been petrified. So it's like pretty dense with wide trunks, kind of like redwoods.
Ooh, like huge trees.
Yeah, big old trees. I think it'd be fun, a good, like an interesting place for people to try and hide out. Or if there was like a combat here, I think having these large like pillars, like gigantic, harder than steel trees, kind of not dotting, but like inhabiting this area. And who knows if they are alive or dead or not.
You said
Okay,
below.
Sorry. That's just for text editing. Hang on. Sorry. Hang on.
I'm sorry. Your default text box is poo poo pee pee.
What
Is that
happened
a
to
roll?
lorem ipsum?
Yeah, where's the lorem ipsum?
Why can't I edit it? Oh no!
So this is the poo poo petrified forest.
God. No, so in Roll20 you can kind of cheat it by texting, by clicking on a text box that already exists, and it'll automatically set your text to that style.
Mm-hmm.
So I did
And
that.
your style is poo poo pee pee?
The poo poo pee pee font.
My style is well known, well documented as poo poo pee pee.
Sorry.
Cool. Okay, Quinn, what do you got?
Okay, so for me, I'm thinking on the left side of the map, kind of like in a triangle from the megalith and the Makaton terraforming station. A little lower. Oh yeah, sorry, I forgot I can draw. Hold on. Kind of like where's why won't you let me freehand this?
Oh, can the artist not access the drawing tool?
Interesting.
It won't let me. It knows I'm too powerful.
I had problems trying to use tablet on Roll20 as well.
Yeah, it's not letting me.
Yeah.
I believe in your mouse control.
Hold on.
You're gonna want to thicken that guy though.
Yeah. So kind
Big
of
thickums drawing
in
lines.
this area.
Big area.
Yeah, so they're gonna be like sulfuric geyser wastes.
Oh, very
Ooh.
But the sulfur has a lower density than some kind of like mercury liquid underneath. So when it's for the biology people, there's like a natural forming underwater lake in the deep sea, where scientists have tried to like go under it, and they just bounce off of the surface of this underwater lake because it's so dense with salt. So kind of the same thing. There's like these pools of sulfuric geysers that'll look kind of like the not Yosemite.
Yeah,
What's
Yosemite
the other
Falls.
one?
Oh, like Old Faithful.
The other
Yellowstone.
Yellowstone, yeah, like the Yellowstone pools that are also geysers.
Okay. But it's like
and
super
people-
dense sulfur
Yeah,
that you
yeah.
can't like penetrate into
Well,
it.
you can go into the sulfur; it will kill you. But there's another layer underneath the sulfur where there may be like something living there.
Treasure.
We don't know.
It's a layer of treasure.
Yeah.
Cool.
Treasure in the form of sulfur deposits.
Cool. I think that's good. I don't want to dive too deep into them because we are going to add to them. But I like that. Sulfur geysers here. These areas may have to kind of adjust as we add to the map. These are pretty big. But that's okay.
Yeah, I can make it smaller.
All right. The next step to starting the game is that each of us are going to add one non-player character who can be found in this local area. The character should be someone that your character knows personally, who would be glad to see your character. So you don't have to draw it on the map. We can just keep this as reference for later. But there's somebody who can be found in this location, like somewhere on this map, or within the realm of this map, that your character knows personally and would be like stoked to see you. How do you go, Quinn? You got any ideas?
Me, okay. There's going to be a scientist, maybe one that escaped from the lab before I got raided. That was actually the only one that was like nice to me, I guess, or like saw my intelligence and like treated me as like an intelligent being. And now they've like ran off to go be like a crazy person at the sulfur geysers to study whatever's going on at the sulfur geysers. And whenever they see me, they're like, "How are you?"
Oh, it's you!
Yeah.
Remember when I was experimenting on you? Those were the days.
Yes, exactly.
Cool, great. Do we have a name?
Terry Jones.
Terry Jones. Good old Terry Jones. What do you got, Seth?
Okay, so mine is Parker Frost.
Parker Frost.
He is a smuggler who kind of makes his base of operations out of Granny's Tower, but he is someone that Kit makes frequent deliveries to in the Petrified Forest. It's sort of like a neutral zone where people typically aren't going to follow people, so there's
kind of out of the way. It's like sort of isolated.
Yeah,
cool.
And so there's a lot of like illicit activity that goes on.
Right. That's around every tree. There's another shady deal taking place.
Yeah.
Cool.
What's their name? Sorry.
Parker Frost.
Parker.
Frost. Oh, I didn't add a location. Let me do that. This area just north of Granny's Tower. This is going to be the Scrap Heap. And that is a region where, because Granny's Tower is illegal, and the Algoric Shield station here, just north of it, is legal. This kind of area is where a lot of that conflict between the two takes place. And there's just an abundance of Lancer mech bits left behind there.
So there's a lot of skirmishes that kind of happen out there.
Yeah, lots of brushes with the law. I think right now, I'm picturing, since Granny's Tower is quite close to the Algoric, it's kind of like a known black market. Like, they know it exists. It's a space elevator. It goes off the planet, right? But they don't have the resources, or maybe there's some political reason that they haven't like taken care of it. And while it's in this kind of gray area, it operates mostly within their they're paying somebody. There's a reason it's there. Basically, we don't know, but there's a reason.
Can you imagine being like a police officer or a detective in Japan and seeing like just off to the east is just Yakuza Tower, and it's like I can't go over there.
I think that's how it is. I mean, I don't know, but I think that like the Yakuza have like don't they own like legitimate businesses now?
They have a lot of like legitimate storefronts, but like if you could just like this is just Crime Tower.
Crime Tower. Yeah. Okay, cool. That is that portion. Now, the next portion would be meeting our heroes, which we have already done in our previous episode, but I think it would be fun to go over it real quick one more time. So, how this works, you have 4 questions here, which I will post in the chat. For you guys to answer. If you'd like to start, Seth, by just jumping on.
Yeah, sure. So question 1, who is your character and what do they look like? My character's name is Kit, his call sign is Breaker, and he is a drone from the megalith. He stands probably about 5'6", 5'7", not very tall. And he's got like a lot of exposed hydraulics and machinery and parts. He doesn't look like a junk bot or anything. He's not like Jazz from our other campaign. He looks decently well put together. It's a very, God, how would I put it in terms of like robotics? Like a little unkempt, I guess.
Yeah, he's a very standardized robot that was made a long time ago. So he's had like hoses patched up and.
Yeah, there's a lot of like patchwork jobs. So, something that has lived that long, however many repairs you would expect to have on him without any of the cosmetic like changes to kind of make that look a little bit shinier. He wears a bomber jacket. That's probably the only sort of affectation that he has. That would be kind of more human-esque. I haven't decided if I wanted to give him like a TV screen face or just like a chappy face or something like that.
It's blacked out right now in the character selection.
Yeah. I don't want to fully copy Lord Conti from FLCL here. Let's see. Question 2, what fact do you know about this area? So does this area refer to
everything on the map?
Sort of
anytime area is mentioned, it's the map we're building. So what's a fact your character knows about this area? And you can make it up right now. You're
sure
improvising.
There are a lot of Lancer-size underground tunnels.
Oh.
Okay.
He doesn't know where they all are.
I like it.
They've been very instrumental in getting him from place to place when let's say the heat is high and in an area and he needs to deliver something.
It's the mech Disneyland tunnels. They're always talking about the secret mech tunnels underneath Disneyland.
They say Granny's head is somewhere frozen in here.
Cool.
Let's see, what was it? Question 3. Who do I know in this area personally? Is that answered by the Parker Frost?
I think
NPC, or is this another person?
I think it would be better if you want to bring in a new idea. I think it's better. If you want to expand upon your relationship with Parker, I think that would be okay.
Let's add more NPCs. I like fleshing out with people. I think we brought it up earlier. This is someone named Lorem Ipsum.
Lorem Ipsum.
Is it Lorem with an M or Lorem with an N?
I think Lorem is
it's with an M.
Oh my gosh.
Lorem Ipsum.
Is that their handle? Like, are they a Lancer?
Yeah, I think that's their call sign.
Their call sign. They're like a writer Lancer.
Yeah.
Who goes by Lorem Ipsum.
If you look at their Lancer, they've got a bunch of serifs. And Lorem Ipsum is, let's see. I'm gonna say he's like a guard captain in the Algoric shield.
Cool.
I don't know how frequently other factions are allowed to kind of travel in and out of the shield.
All the factions are currently in a state of Cold War. I'm imagining kind of
So that's kind of like a Berlin Wall, kind of not really allowed in here.
No, I think they are. I think the factions do cross-contaminate a lot, but there is tension between them, right? So like they're not at open war, but they're like you could go to the Algoric,
Okay, yeah. Then I'll say if there are places in the Algoric zone that I'm like really not allowed to go, he would be my contact. Like, hey, I need this to get to the petty officer or whoever or whatever.
For sure. Let's say it's the off-world station. So like on top of the shield up here in the top right, there's there's like a station.
Oh, there's a platform.
Yeah, there's a platform on top of the shield, and that's the space platform that like the shield goes up to the atmosphere, and then that's where the ships land.
I just imagine Kit having to like
climb the
up
outside
shield. Just with like a rope tied to my waist and a bunch of packages.
And then like a bunch of people are like inside the shield, like there he goes again. You know, there's like an elevator.
Yeah, you could have knocked on the door.
Cool.
So that's him. It's Lorm Ipsum. And why did I leave this area, and why am I returning now? What do you mean by that? Why did I leave this area?
So this assumes. Let's ignore that question. Actually, let's cut that one because that doesn't make sense in the context of this game. Cool. I think that's good. Quinn, what do you got for me?
Okay, let's see. Who's your character and what do they look like? Cece is a cuttlefish. That's it. They're cuttlefish. You can Google what that looks like.
I'll put a picture up.
No,
we're not doing that again. One of those.
It's going to be a reoccurring bit for the next year.
Immediately went into it. Okay, so yeah, they're a cuttlefish. They are really small, like one of the smaller like female cuttlefish. But they live in like this sort of dome and are made up and like control a small like drone mech, kind of similar to Kit, that they've made up from scrap parts from, I assume, the Lancer scrap heap, from their little traveling troop.
Yeah, clan.
Clan raid, whatever. So they're unlike Kit, who is a little just like kind of like an older drone. Cece's little mech thing does look really
like it's cobbled out of junk.
Yeah, like it's just like glued together, shabbily put together, whatever. But it's just so she can get around. Anyway, what fact do you know about this area? Are we talking about the area that we made up, or just
the area of the map? So, like, what is one thing that CC knows about something on this map or this region? You're welcome to simply pass if you don't have anything.
No, I want to come up with something cool. I'm just trying to think of something as cool as Seth's, because that was very cool.
Very cool.
Yes, big hole.
Just like underground hole.
There it is, the plot hole.
All plot comes from the source.
Cece knows that there are algoric people that are trying to... Oh, that wouldn't make any sense. Would it make sense if algoric people were trying to not necessarily break away from algoric, like that city and like the structure, but trying to be a little bit more exploratory compared to your typical algoric?
I would think considering that we have said that they're like culture-sized factions, like billions of members, I think that anything that you can fathom probably exists in some element.
I think it'd be very interesting if some of the algoric people are trying to basically merge with the mutant tribes.
There's like a splinter faction that's wanting to combine their ideals. That's interesting.
Exactly. And maybe like they're trying to, I don't know, take over Granny or like create their own black market trade because they're
apply their optimization philosophy to mutation.
Yeah, something like that.
Oops, we backed into eugenics. Oopsies.
So it would be interesting if like they are like CC knows that they are kind of encroaching into the sulfur wastes as a territory now.
I think that's cool. Yeah, there's like maybe there's like a small faction of algoric expats that have left.
Yeah,
their off-world station. I like that.
And okay, cool. And then who do you know in this area personally? I always have to throw in a little romance. Can I please have a secret pen pal in the megalith I'm catfishing because they don't know that I'm a fucking cuttlefish?
You're cuddle fishing them? Yes, you have a robot boyfriend somewhere in the megalith.
He's not my boyfriend yet. Okay.
It's good to know the internet never really changes.
Yeah,
I gotta give the fans some fan fiction content to write. You know?
Sure.
Halo.
There is.
I'm looking at Halo.
there is someone. What can you tell me about them? Do you have their name or handle? Are they a Lancer?
They're gonna be a Lancer.
Oh my gosh, you don't know. You've never met face to face. You never FaceTime, so you could end up fighting each other.
Yeah,
Oh no.
Yeah, never ever. Their call sign, let's put it as
Beep boop.
Pee poo poo.
Beep beep boop boop. Boop, boop, beep, beep.
let's call him Apollo 10.
Apollo 10.
Yeah.
Right, very cool. Apollo 10 from Megalith. Now, again, Megalith is primarily robotic people, right? That can data phase, so they can like digitize their consciousness into Megalith.
So he might be phase fishing you
That's
into
fine.
thinking he's also a person.
I was
Yeah,
gonna say
yeah.
it could be like Megalith does include people who are not like of the 404 or robots, so there could be it could be a flesh person in there.
Yeah, maybe we met on VR chat or something. I don't know.
Space VR chat.
Real, just quick question here. I understand that this map is more just sort of gestural, representative. How much space would you say is actually between these? places?
I hadn't really considered it. I want to say because Megalith is so gigantic, it would have to be quite a lot.
Yeah, so this is like thousands of miles.
I don't know about thousands. This feels let's say it's about 1,000 miles across for now, and then we can adjust as need be.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's about the size of like what is that, like 3/4 of the U.S.
How big is the U.S.? I don't know. I don't want to
it's 1,200.
mess my windows.
Large.
I think
It's like 3,000 miles across.
Is it 3,000? I thought it was like 1,200.
I don't know. Let me look. I'm gonna cut all this anyway.
We're in the ether. We're not in the show anymore.
Yeah, this is why I don't do lives.
Time to
2,800.
Time for a confession. 2,800. Okay, split the difference.
It's a little bit under half. I guess.
Excellent. Okay, now we can get into the game proper.
Oh, do I have another question
Sure.
I need to answer? No.
There was a fourth one, but we're not doing that
The fourth one
one.
I'm cutting because it doesn't make sense. in the
Right.
context of the game. Oh, okay. The fourth one assumes that we're just coming into this location, and not that you got, because both of you lived here your entire lives and haven't really left. So, we don't need a reason why you're coming back. Okay. So how this is going to work is we're going to go by my scale here. It'll be Seth, then Quinn, then me. And at the beginning of your turn, you get a card, and then you're going to pick one of your 4 cards and play it on the board. Read it out loud for everyone, and then tell us what you're going to do with it. They have some of them have instructions, but it should be pretty obvious how it works. So we're going to start with you, Seth. I'm sending you a card. Boop.
Boop. 4th card. Let's see here.
And off turn, Quinn, you and I should be considering what cards in our hands we want to play. And also, do not feel bad about wanting to discard cards. If you discard, just drag them off of the map, like off the screen.
And that'll discard them.
I can see them. I want to keep cards that you guys don't like or can't think of anything for separate, so that I can adjust the game and make it easier for all skill levels of improv.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Okay, let's do some lore. Starting with me.
Oh, drag it on the
one
map.
brief. Oh, I was gonna read it for the audience.
So you can
That's
read
fine.
it there.
Starting with me in one brief sentence, each player names a unique cultural element of the local area, unique clothing, taboo, ritual, or etc. Okay. One. Let's see. Is there any area on here that people of all ilk tend to congregate?
I think actually this map kind of represents where the 3 factions congregate the most. So basically everywhere here is the most cross-contaminated.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, well, you know what? We'll keep this one kind of simple. So there are obviously, even within each faction, a lot of different factions. And I think that each of the factions, even within their own faction, will affect some accessory that of a certain color or symbol that will kind of identify them to that. So, maybe like a pin or a hat or a ribbon or sash, or maybe even the paint job of the 404 will reflect which
like splinter faction they
which
they
like
most
internal
associate with.
faction
Okay.
they associate with.
Cool.
Yeah.
Is that true? That's true across all three?
Well, it says the unique cultural element of the local area, so
Yeah.
I guess I'll just count this for just the megalith.
Okay. Yeah, so within Megalith there are splinter factions and they do identify. That makes sense. I mean,
Yeah, and they're
as
and
robots,
they're not all
they're like, my designation is this faction. I have this political philosophy.
If you ask them, they'll just lift off a litany of things. I think, and not all the factions are going to be like, big political, I don't believe that we should even associate with these people kind of factions. I think these are factions that are like, oh, we're the faction that likes to go and explore this forest, or there's a cave system, and we're just really interested in learning about it.
Oh, cool.
Like a hobby club.
Yeah, basically like a club. These are clubs.
Okay, cool.
I mean, some of them will be more militant, but a lot of them are just like, this is my special interest and what I dedicate my life to.
Oh my god, a bunch of autistic people getting together within this world.
Robot special interest.
I know. How cute.
Then I just off screen, I guess.
Yeah. Well, we have to do ours too because it's each player.
That's right.
I'll do one. There is, because this is a non-breathable atmosphere, there is a large fashion industry surrounding hard suits and like corrosion protective wear. So like masks and hats and like the suits that they wear outside of Algoric shield bubbles, all of that. Lots of different varieties and styles, and you're often judged based on, not like specifically on your clothes, but like, oh, you're wearing a so-and-so brand hard suit is common.
We're gonna have mean girls.
I think mine's is going to be something, very different from me. Something very lighthearted. I think it'd be really fun if during the peak of like the planet, regrowth phase, like where the flowers are supposed to start blooming, springtime basically. There's a big festival where all three of the clans get together and just celebrate like a day of peace.
I dig
and
that.
kind of like mingle their cultures. But at the same time, it's kind of like another one of those days where they're like trying to get intel, But it's just an excuse for everyone to kind of like peacefully be like, so like, what's going on with like the Algoric right now?
Ooh, I love that. I like the idea that it's like it came about after like some big conflict on this planet, and they're like, well, much like the storm blows away the land and it regrows, like a regrowth. Politically is a very cool idea.
Yeah.
I dig that. Cool. Awesome. Okay. That is your set. We'll just delete, and now it is your turn, Claire.
These are all good cards.
Hooray! Thank you.
I'm gonna go with this one because it means that we have to all come up with something that our characters do to interact with each other.
Okay.
At an area or street where your party likes to visit, each player starting with you names a feature of that location.
Okay, so to start this one, since it's a location card, you're going to draw a location on the map wherever you want. And it's going to be with that theme in mind. So add that place.
Oh, this is cute.
Night City Market.
Night City. It's Night City from Cyberpunk
Actual
2077. Teleported
Okay.
into space.
Okay, so it's going to be right there. On the bottom,
I see.
right?
Bottom right corner.
bottom right
Oh,
corner.
right, okay.
This little like village thing off on the side underneath or to the right of the petrified forest. Sometimes I think if CC comes out of the sulfur wastes to go here, and this is a Night market.
A night market.
No, kidding. It's like a food market. This is like the food hub, you know, where
okay.
like all the Michelin, like it's the Singaporean like street food, like kind of like night market place. Cool. So like after a hard day's work of Kit in like the petrified forest or something, and CC just finished raiding a bunch of villages.
Don't you make League of Legends canon?
Yeah, they go to where they call Summoner's Rift, and they duke it
No!
out on
No!
5v5.
There are 3 lanes. And
2 people go bottom, 1 person goes in the jungle. The meta right now is really, really fucked, but it changes every season.
No!
But I figure because we, this is just like where some people congregate. We have run into each other fairly often there.
Yeah, I dig that. And then starting with you, name a feature of that location. So what's one thing that can be found at the food market? Do you have a name for the food market?
I
think it could be interesting if it doesn't really have a name. It's like one of those things that has just started.
I think that it's like a la food cart or like, you know, tacos on the side of the street. Mm-hmm. Sometimes it's just there and sometimes it's not.
Cool. Me and Yusef need to add a feature. Actually, Quinn, you have to add a feature. It starts with you. So you have to add a feature to the food market. Like what is something about the food market?
The food market is a front for Granny's black market.
Okay.
Mm.
The food black market. Cool. I'll add.
Is there like can there be like a black market?
An even blacker market.
Dark market.
A
deep web market.
Well, I think it's just like stuff that doesn't sell at This is like the TJ Maxx of Granny's black market.
It's like a Ross for black market.
We'll just walk in with shopping carts looking for guns.
This one didn't have a tag. This gun didn't have a tag.
That means it's free, right?
Wham!
Waka waka.
I'll add something. I am picturing it as kind of like an urban area. So like in the thing, it looks a little bit like pastoral or villagey. I'm picturing it a little bit more like a small city, sort of, or like it's attached to a small city that's in that area.
I think that there is like, gosh, I don't want to call it a training ground. I want to call it like an area of the food market where the 3 groups will sometimes engage in these like small war games. It's non-lethal, it's intercultural, and it's just kind of a way to see how they measure up against
some like
others. And this is
Lancer test arena sort of things.
I don't know if I would want it to be in the Lancers though. I might want this to be like, on foot.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Like think of it like serious. Oh, don't come for me when I say this, but like serious paintball. Like, don't get me wrong, paintball very serious. I think they have that in the
military. They have like live tests or something where it's like they have an objective and.
Well, they use paintball in that, but yeah.
Yeah, the idea being, you know, this is non-lethal. It's just a way for the different cultures to measure each other up.
Cool. Interesting.
In a way that's non-violent.
Is that above board, or is that kind of like a quiet backdoor thing?
I think it would have to be kind of, above board as far as the black market.
So, like, in Algoric's relationship with this illegal space elevator, like, they can't condone it, but they are doing it.
Yeah, like the closest thing I would think of is if you remember Pedals to the Metal, that arc from Taz, how that's illegal, but like everybody does it, so no one really
like speeding in California.
Like, right.
I've gotten speeding tickets, so I don't know about that.
Yeah, but if you generally drive the same speed as everybody else, like
flow of traffic,
the cops can't pull all of us over.
Cool. All right. Cool. That's the food market. I like that it's just the food market. Awesome. Okay.
Yeah, it's the Costco where out back everybody is shooting each other and doing illegal deals.
TJ Facts.
TJ, just spitting TJ facts. I will do this one. Boop. The one I just drew. At a criminal location. Then choose a player. They tell us whose turf this is. I'm going to add it, let's say, down here in the Sulphur Waste. There's going to be like a crag. into the earth here. That is a well-known Coven clan area. Like it's like a fissure in the earth here from the acid storms. And I will pick Quinn.
I love my religious organizations.
You're
so
always
I'm
saying that.
I do. I love them. I will call
Put
them
on a t-shirt.
I love my religious organization.
And on the back, I do. I'm
always saying that.
Okay. They're going to be called the Prophets.
The Prophets.
They think that the sulfur geysers are a resource that can be used for mutations. But they also think that the shields that the Algoric have are not natural, therefore they shouldn't exist. Or that they belong to the Prophets to be used for Granny's, whatever.
Machinations.
Yeah, so they, in particular, hate the Algorics.
Cool.
And think that they're colonizers and that they're bringing all this technology that's going to ruin,
That's really interesting because they're anti-tech. They're bio. I don't want to say bio-fascists, but bio-supremacists that also hate the Algoric because last pre-session we got the Avarice, who are robots who don't want the planet to be terraformed, and or rather they live in megalith mostly.
Just to clarify that, Avarice, they revere the acid storm.
Yeah.
They just want that to stick around.
And
I don't
kind
know
of
if they
planet
necessarily...
in general, right?
I think the Prophets think that they are, not the eugenics back again, but that they are biologically engineered to be superior because they are mutants and they can adjust to the acid rains and the sulfuric wastes.
So they believe that people should adapt to the planet, not adapt the planet to them. That's interesting.
They're bio-extremists, I'll say.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's their turf there in that crag by the forest. Awesome.
Yeah.
All right. If we could record that, I think that'll be important to remember. Seth, you're up. Boop. There's your new card.
Add a location that is meaningful to my character. Name a meaningful relationship or romantic interest your character has in the area and what keeps us apart. Okay. I never do romantic interests in characters that I play.
Oh boy, this is the romance game.
I think this will be the one where I do it.
Hooray! Hooray! Love robot.
Yeah.
There's somebody on. It's Miss Fish. What is? I just don't know if I'm ready to meet her. You know.
Okay, but Seth,
let me out, Seth. Please hear me out, Seth.
It would be if our characters didn't know that they were in love, but they were in love.
We were catfishing each other.
Oh, you can't do this in every game, Quinn.
Listen,
hear me out, please.
Do whatever you want.
That was a very pointed. Do whatever you want.
Do whatever you want. Do what you're gonna do anyway.
Let's start with the first one because now that there's peer pressure,
it isn't just one peer. To be clear.
Let's see. A location that is meaningful to my character. I think in the megalith there is it's gonna be small. It's just a balcony. That's all it is. It's a balcony that's kind of high up. It's probably the highest you can go without having to data phase into the megalith to move up. So
say here, right there.
Yeah. The highest it overlooks the direction that Granny's Tower and the Algoric are in. And I think that's someplace that Kit likes to go day's end, sun's starting to set. It just looks really pretty up there. I think that's his go-to unwinding lo-fi and study
is that
zone.
Is that spot normally accessible, or is it something that it's Kit's secret place?
Oh no, this is Kit's secret place. I think he maybe even kind of built it a little bit himself. This maybe this maybe was like a junk spot where people were just tossing. And then he kind of moved it all out of the way. He made it look like it was full, but in reality, if you like shove a thing out of the way, you have this big, clean, open
beams.
spot. Yeah.
Did you get your screws from your aunt?
Yeah, I get your girders.
Oh my god! Don't. I finally got that off my FYP.
It was so good.
They're good the first 20 times.
And more.
That's saying something, though. If it's good 20 times.
I did watch all 20 of them, I'm just saying.
I dig that. So it was like a girder that like kind of stuck out and it's just collected a bunch of trash and you turned it into your own spot. I like that a lot. Yeah, that's cool.
And because I think it would be add for some fun drama, I'll say that the romantic relationship is that I'm being catfished by
CC.
By CC.
Hooray! So it's where you go to like your laptop and you like connect into the Megalith's data network.
Where I just sort of pour some coffee uselessly onto my face.
Hooray! Hooray!
Yay!
Drama!
Love prevails!
And now,
importantly, I want it to never come to fruition.
boo! Boo! He says that now, and then he's gonna get freaking he's gonna get Travis Willingham over here. Now you're gonna get married.
I want Kit to die never knowing.
We can't do that to Quinn twice. We also played a cyberpunk game where I was a sad boy cyberpunk and Quinn was a cat girl, and we had a will they won't they that was I said would always be a won't they.
It would be doomed.
Absolute doomed romance.
And then we never played again.
Never
to
played
find
again.
out if I could bully him into doing it.
maybe we'll pick that up in Spell Kids as a
Seth, cut this.
Okay, cool. That was Seth. So now it's Quinn's turn. Quinn, here is your draw. Bloop.
Bloop.
Really curious if we're going to get anything about Nakatan Terraforming Station.
We're scared of it. We don't know what goes on in there.
Who knows? It's the middle thing. I just wanted to put one location that was like separate from all of them, but in the middle.
I don't
know if you ever played Final Fantasy, but it looks like Midgar.
I'm going to toss this one because I think I answered this with the Spring Festival, if that's okay.
Yeah, that's fine. Tossing is absolutely A-okay in this game.
Oh, actually, let me read this one.
Oh
These are
my.
both good. How many more rounds are we doing of this?
We will keep going until we feel that the map has too much for us to remember on it.
Okay, fantastic. I'm going to go with this one first. Pick a location, then add a wall near it, through or surrounding that location. What was built to keep it out?
I'll put the wall right through the algorithm.
Right through the middle. That's what's fun about this game is that I, as the GM, have to honor everything made during this game. So
You're lucky we're not giving this the Nicolas Cage treatment.
I am stunned, but we still have a few rounds. So every time I've done this, it's gone to Goofy Town pretty quick.
If you want the Nicolas Cage treatment,
no, keep going. Not yet.
Rules for thee, but not for me. I see how it is.
Okay, I've put the wall around the Macatan Terraforming Station.
Oh, okay.
So I think that the Algoric are trying to keep the other races out because it's their terraforming station. Specifically, the Prophets and the other Coven members keep trying to beat the shit out of the terraforming station because they're like, why are you ruining our planet?
Oh, interesting. So is it like it's like a demilitarized zone then, huh? Like a
I think it'd be
big,
interesting.
like a military wall surrounding it?
Yeah.
Okay,
and maybe during like the Spring Festival celebration, people are allowed to like go on the wall and
look at it.
yeah, celebrate.
You see?
Tour the historic area around the Macatan Terraforming Station.
Historic nearby. Awesome. Cool.
Well, because like the station is meant to be like a big revolutionary like area, right? Like not revolution.
You tell me. It sounds like yes.
It's supposed to be like a world-changing thing.
Yeah,
so
that's how I imagine. Yeah.
Right. I imagine the Algoric are like, look at us building. You know.
You cut out a little bit there. But...
Yeah, you were peeking there.
Sorry. The Algoric are like, look at our building.
Too excited. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Very
Praise
cool.
the sun type
So
thing.
it's not like finished then. It's still being constructed.
I think that'd be cool.
Okay, cool. So that's a big deal then.
Yeah.
Very interesting. All right, awesome. I'm gonna do this one. Starting with you, each player in one sentence picks a location and says a secret or mystery about that location. So
Ooh.
each one of us is going to pick one location and do a very quick little secret about it. I will do the Algoric Offworld 1, the main station offworld of the Algoric. The secret is the shield is rapidly running out of battery.
I like that.
The second secret is that the terraforming station is also meant to mine resources to try and rebuild the shield's integrity. And not
So
actually...
there's an ulterior motive.
Yeah.
So it's actually it's like part
That's
harvester.
That's why they're building a wall around it, because they know that the locals are not going to be happy about it. So they're like, kind of like, oh, this is against the profits, but really it's because they know they're going to have to hold this in the future.
Every bit of lore we add to the Makaten station just makes it more and more Midgar. Midgar's whole thing is extracting energy, the life force of the planet, to power reactors.
Don't be ridiculous. And also, my other secret is it's the Final Fantasy. Sephiroth lives here.
My secret is for the Lancer's scrap heap. I think on the surface, what you're seeing is regular, like, these are Lancer mechs, but I don't think anyone's done this yet, but if you were to dig further down, you would see more scrap, but the further down you get, the less any of that scrap looks like anything that any of the factions have made.
Oh, so the scrap heap predates the factions.
Well, the visible part of the Lancer scrap heap is from the factions, but there's a lot of other scrap and stuff underneath it that it was like piled on top of.
That makes a lot of sense. That'd probably be like buried down. It's a archaeological dig site.
Yeah, but like if all the people want is the top of the heap, then they're never going to dig
down.
further.
And I mean
than
also
that.
because there's constant. We haven't really dived into it, but there's constant Lancers fighting in this.
Yeah, so there's always more scrap being added to it.
Tons of extra scrap. Cool. That's definitely one we're going to record. I like the idea that there was something that predates, like, this planet has a history that goes beyond the factions that currently control it. I think that's really cool. It's a big piece of lore. All right. That was mine, so now we go to Seth's. Here is your card. Boink.
Let me see what this new one be. Okay. All right. I'm going to go with this one. Add a location that cannot be simply walked into, then name a famous character who can be found there. Okay. This one, Jeremy, I think you would recognize this place because I add it to every quiet year
Oh,
ever
no.
do.
Oh, no, it's the Dr. Pepper factory.
In between the three factions, sort of in the middle here, is an obelisk.
The obelisk.
It is my big, gigantic obelisk.
Hooray!
Not nearly as big as the megalith.
It's the mini lith.
it's the moderate lith.
Cool.
But it's very large. And at the foot of it is a mech that is like 6 times taller than any standard mech.
Oh,
it's
like a giant.
And
mech.
it guards that tower.
Cool.
And it doesn't belong to any specific faction. But it was there since these factions came, and I think it's part of what sort of keeps the peace between the three of them, is that if they ever try to go to war, they have to kind of pass by this thing.
There's like a neutral ultra ace of some kind.
Yeah, they don't even know if there's a person in it.
Very cool. Very cool. Yeah, I dig that. I like. Okay, here is your card.
Okay, I'm going to pick this one. At a location the people of this area avoid, then choose a player what dangers lurk in this place. Let's pick...
Add a location. You're making a new one.
Pick this area right here.
Okay, alright, you're going to make a list.
Okay, Seth. What dangers lurk?
Okay.
This area is avoided. Right next to Megalith. That's a tough place to avoid. Oops.
Yeah, I think what is there a long time ago, were these factions ever like just openly at war, or are they always been kind of in this Cold War state?
I pictured them like there has been open war in the past. But if you want to make that call, I think this is the time to do that.
Okay. I think at one point, the megalith, as a sort of secret internal project, they tried to create like tech shredding nanites.
Ooh.
That was, you could deploy them. They would interrupt the shield. They would eat through all of the various,
nanites is such an interesting philosophical conundrum for robots.
Yeah, it's
like are they robots or are they like your germs? They're like
I guess
living
they would
life,
be like living little germs. But obviously, for the reasons that you were just mentioning, very dangerous thing to have, and we sort of lost control of it, and now there's just a cloud of them.
There's a natural cloud of nanites that are loose that eat tech.
They're just kind of out there. They haven't moved, but they are there, and the people in the megalith, it is scary.
Yeah, I imagine. Nanite.
But it's I don't want it to be like right at the doorstep, just like a wasp of bees at your front door, or
what would we call that?
Bees,
the nanite.
A
like,
wasp of
I'm
bees.
kind of picturing like, you know how in after the World War there was like those fields where all the undetonated ordnance was left, and like you couldn't go there. That's kind of how I'm imagining it. Like this was used in a military capacity, and now they just don't have an easy way to clean it up because it made sense.
It's not. Yeah, it's like it would cost us so much to try to remove this that it's probably best if we just put up a sign,
put a little fence around it.
That's slowly being eaten.
I'll call it the nanite minefield for now, unless we can think of a better name.
Yeah.
Cool.
Also, Seth, cut out that part where I said a wasp of bees. That's
nope, that stays in. That stays in, and this is on TikTok now.
We're
on TikTok. We're on Here we are. Let me out.
You better edit these videos then, because I have the power.
You're gonna be going through this footage and see this part. I'm gonna wave my arm so you remember this part. You're gonna be like, that's pretty good content. I gotta cut out what content I can.
But I'm gonna mute it.
So it's just gonna be me waving my arm.
Yep.
All right. That was Quinn's turn?
No.
That was my turn.
That
was
was my turn. That was my turn.
So now it is my turn. Read my card. Add a location that evokes a feeling of sadness or melancholy. Then choose a player who calls this place home. I will add I'm going to add over here, up in the northern area, this kind of field up here is going to be, this seems like, since the nanite field is right there, maybe this was like a battlefield. This is like an ancient battlefield. And now it has become something of a memorial or graveyard of the that is seen as kind of like like in an anime where there's always that scene where somebody's standing in a field and there's a bunch of swords everywhere.
Yeah,
it's like that. It's like that, but it's mechs, right? It's mechs and soldiers, and mostly probably megalith. I imagine this is the main battlefield of Megalith's revolution. So this is like the location where the really harrowing combat took place.
Okay.
I'll call it the battlefield graveyard. And I will pick I'll pick Seth. Seth, who calls the battlefield graveyard home?
I think that there is one just older than the rest 404.
So one lonely robot out there.
Yeah, who kind of is not really like the keeper of it, not like a keeper. It's just like, because it's kind of gotten older and there is a nanite field there, it would never make the return back to the megalith.
Oh, you know what I'm picturing? There's that art of the robot with the stick and the car battery on top, like a post.
Yeah, it's kind of like that.
It's like an old withered robot that's barely hanging on, and like
and it's maybe it kind of scavenges the graveyard for parts just to keep it alive. But it stays there because there's no way it could get back to the megalith.
It could ever make it back. I think it would be cool too if it has taken on this personal role. Maybe it was in that battle and just lived because they're robots. To warn people about the nanite minefield nearby. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, you like if you're going through here, make sure you travel over there. And he like lives in a little shack under.
Yeah, kind of the steward of the area. Yeah.
Very cool. Sad robot.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Oh gosh, I don't want to just throw out like historical figures because I don't know if they were people worth having.
What if he's a general? What if he was like really important in the battle, and now he's like his history
kind of like all of that armor has been sort of shed off because it's just not efficient to have anymore. Now he's just sort of
like a
his
skeletal robot.
I'm gonna say his name is Chorus.
Chorus. Chorus, the sad robot.
Like a singing chorus.
Love it. Very cool. All right, that brings us to Sester.
Let's do this one. Pick a character from another player's backstory. Add a location of the map for that character, for where that character can be found. Then the subject player tells us why that location is important to that character.
Oh, do you need a list of characters?
Yeah.
You can choose, since there's only 3 of us, you can choose an NPC that we've established as picking me, or you can pick one of the characters that is important to Quinn, which I think primarily is the feral animal clan.
Yeah, you've told us about, I think, sort of them at large, but were there specific people that you mentioned also?
Quinn? Not within the clan specifically that I've thought about. There's Terry Jones, the scientist. But I can make up one.
Well, I don't want to make you do undue work. Tell us about Terry Jones.
Oh, I don't mind. I don't mind talking more about my clan.
Actually, if you are picking the character sets, once you pick the character, you add the location where they are. So you're going to add a location to the map.
I'll add the location.
Yeah. And then
technically, Terry Jones has a location, so I think it is better if you pick a location for someone from my clan. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay. Let's see.
Well, this could give us an idea of where CC is, where CC's from.
Yeah.
So we know it's generally down here in the bottom right, in the bottom area, but we don't know.
Yeah, I'll say like here, and I'll mark it like with this X. It's like sort of at the
tip of the
top
crag.
of the crag. Yeah, I'm gonna cut this, but I was originally gonna have it be like this right here.
Right.
Some people say it's hard to find.
Oh my god.
Yeah, but I didn't. I'm gonna cut all this.
Right in my crag.
Yeah, right in the crag. So this X right here is sort of at the entrance.
Okay. A crag is like a
pit, yeah, like a canyon.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm picturing it like an acidic Grand Canyon.
Oh, pretty.
What do you call this place stuff?
What do I call that place?
Well, yeah, what are you naming the location?
Oh, let's keep it simple. It's the Watchtower.
The Watchtower.
The Watchtower inside the crag?
I'd say it's at the top of it, like right on the surface.
Oh, okay.
If you were like walking around, that's the thing you would see. Because the crag obviously goes underground.
Yeah. Okay, cool. I think that this is where the lab originally was, that the clan raided and then took over for themselves. Because the lab, whatever experiments failed, they just tossed into the crag.
Oh no!
And then they became as part of like the covens that were found within like the crag and the sulfur.
They raided the lab and then just took it over as their home base after.
Yep.
Okay, so they destroyed.
And then decided to live in the garbage pile where they threw it.
Yep.
I like the idea that also because they're like animals. So this is like since they made you, I'm picturing it kind of zoo-like, and they turned that into the animal testing facility became the animal home base.
Yeah. Cool. I'll say that because you said pick a character from another player's backstory. I'll say that the leader of my clan is like a gorilla hybrid. That is like let me pick another random animal. A gorilla Wolverine hybrid.
Gorilla Wolverine. It's a matriarch too, if I remember.
Yeah. So very aggressive, very, very animalistic, obviously. But yeah, we'll call them What is a... I'm not good with names. Somebody come up with a name.
How about Lola?
Okay, Lola it is.
Lola.
Wow. All right.
No, wow, wow, all right. Damn.
That's like in Tagalog,
right.
Lola means grandma.
Oh, really? Well, there you go.
Lola. Leads a clan matriarchal. Oh, I can't spell. Okay, cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
We don't need a spell. We don't spell on this channel. We're just we do magic spells. That's what the spell kids is. Awesome. That was Seth's turn.
That was my turn.
Okay, now it is your turn, Quinn. Boink, there's your new card.
I'm going to pick this card. Add a military or criminal location. Then choose player. What thing nearby is the reason that location was established? I'm going to pick... Oh. I'm going to pick the shores of the sulfur waste right here.
Okay. That one
And then I'm going to have... Yep. And that's why I'm picking you, so that you can figure out right there.
Is it military or criminal?
It's a military palm tree. It's a strategically important palm tree.
Let's do military.
Okay, military. All right. Let's say this is. Well, I feel like the 404 and the Algoric definitely have established militaries, and I feel like we all agree that the big war that happened that caused the battlefield is probably between those two primarily. So I think it would be interesting if this is a military of the Coven. So I'll say this is a Coven military location. Maybe this is where clan members who show promise are sent to become more Granny's personal service. And the nearby reason it was a thing that is the reason the location was established. I'm gonna say this forest at the edge of the sulfur wastes is extremely populated with wild xenos and like monsters. So like alien life that is native to this planet is there, and there are members of those creatures that actually can put up a fight against a mech that are big enough and dangerous enough. And Granny sends her, like, they have, like, I imagine since they're very disorganized and much more barbaric, I imagine they have more of like a group of lancers that have like dudes hanging off of them, and they're like very ritualistic. They bring out somebody who's going to become a lancer in Granny's in the Coven and be gifted the ability to print a mech, but they first must get one scrapped up crap mech, and they have to go into the forest,
and fight one of those
things, and bring back its head. And that's their like trial by which they become
nice. Now, is that like the only way people from the Coven?
No, I don't think so. I think especially if the clan has access to resources, then they don't. Like, this is one way. But
if your dad donated a lot to the school.
I think it makes sense that your mech, Tsunami, or was it? It's Tsunami, right?
Yeah, Tsunami.
Probably was developed in the lab, and like you have access to your own stuff. But the Coven at large, this is probably the most common, traditional way.
Nice.
Xenos.
I wonder if there's some kind of like cultural looking down upon in the Coven.
I like that. I think there should be. Yeah, I think it's like you cheated, right? Like they probably look at it like stolen valor a little bit. And it's probably another point of contention. But your clan seems kind of insular, it seems like. They're like... Yeah. They're very much concerned with each other, which I think is the case a lot of the time, but maybe not, like in the tower when you go there and people see that you're in like a handmade mech that doesn't have like the blood of a Xeno, or what... Xeno is the right word, right? That's what they call them.
I don't know. I guess so. You made the world.
Sure. Yeah. Xenos is big alien monsters. That's what they call them. The Xenos. If you don't have like the head of it or its skull or something to represent what you killed.
Mm-hmm.
then they're like, So there's a story there, I think.
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah.
Love it. All right. That was Quinn's turn?
Yep.
My turn. Okay, I got a character card.
Xenos with a Z?
Yeah.
Make it an X.
Okay. Okay.
Be a man.
Yeah.
Spell it with an X.
Be a man. Okay, I'll do this one. At a location where something important is about to happen, then choose a player.
Oh.
Is this thing well known or event or in the shadows? Let's add a location. Let's add another central location. There is a city right here.
Ooh. A non-faction city?
Yeah. This is like a metropolitan kind of downtown sort of city. Maybe there's some like more on the outside of it. And oops. Most of the people from the terraforming station probably work in or live in this city. And something big is about to happen here. I'll say the city has problems with the guardian mech of the obelisk. And has the guardian mech has attacked. It has attacked lancers or mechs that have been traveling between the locations, thinking that they had trade has come too close to the obelisk too regularly, and so the city is planning to do something about it. And I'll pick you, Quinn. Is this well known, or is this happening in the shadows?
I think it's well known.
Okay.
To the point, because this Mech Guardian is pretty infamous.
Mm-hmm.
I think to the point where people are planning to go watch.
It's gonna be
Like
an event.
We're finally destroying that thing.
The
yeah.
mayor with the big top hat.
Yeah. Almost like
I've invented a stick of dynamite.
We're gonna call the city
The city of Townsville.
yeah.
Belknap.
Almost like an Olympic event that's about to happen, right?
Right. They're making it a big show. Very
Right. Do you know what like faction owns the city, or is this just
I think
like
it's
an
unincorporated.
unfaction? Okay.
It's one of the few on the planet that's totally unincorporated because it's right in the middle between all of them.
Oh, okay.
I like to think that maybe some of the other factions are like secretly funneling some supplies there to see if they we can't destroy the mech, but if you do it and
Yeah.
you fail, then it won't be looked bad to us.
Yeah,
I like
definitely.
that. Yeah, I think also Belknap City, which is what I named it. I think this is proudly unincorporated. Like this is a place that's like we have nothing to do with those other people. We are completely neutral. We do not. We're a fourth faction, but they're not nearly as powerful.
Yeah. How would you say that they defend themselves against
I think it's
the acid storm?
Belmac, probably algoric technology.
So they got some smaller shields.
I think they have shield. They have like a lot of insular pods, and like a lot of the city is indoors and it's connected by bridgeways and stuff. But
energy umbrella.
Yeah, but like when the storms come, they do like funnel resources to activate a bubble shield around it. But usually it's not up. Okay, that was my turn. It is Seth's turn.
Get out of here. Go, dog.
He wants to be on the stream.
He does.
So what's your Lancer name?
Oh, that'd be cute. They would do well for our numbers.
Our numbers are currently 0, so anything would.
we have 7 subscribers.
Whoa! I couldn't even
Are you
find us when I was
legal
trying to Google it before.
Yeah, neither can anyone else who's asked me about it.
Well, we don't have any videos. What's going to pop up?
I know. Pick a location on the map. What reason does my character have to not want to be seen there? Okay, I'm going to go back to the Macaten terraforming station.
Ooh.
I've mentioned before that Kit is prone to accidents, and he destroys a lot of stuff on accident. So
no!
I think
Somebody order pizza to the walled-off demilitarized zone?
yeah, and he accidentally tripped and blew off a big wall.
Exposed some secrets, government secrets happening there.
Yeah, he was delivering something innocuous. and they're leading him to a thing, and he accidentally went down the wrong corridor and slipped and turned a steam valve too hard, and
Oops!
and just a
Area
big,
51. That's not right.
a big like 3-story chunk of wall got blown out of it, and so
Oh my.
Wow.
they do not. He has a picture at the front lobby. His
Do not let in.
Do not let in.
All right. Is he like wanted because of this? Like,
I think that they wanted to capture him, but all he has to do is take off his jacket and like
is
who
nobody.
is he? Yeah.
Anonymous. No robots with
so-
jackets allowed.
So he just doesn't deliver there anymore.
Okay, cool. Has he received any consequences because of that? Or is it just that he can't go to the Mechatan?
I think that because that place is so sort of resource intensive, I think that he has lost a lot of
Business?
income from it.
Maybe
Not-
you
yeah.
were like, what was your like middle manager boss character from Session 0?
Oh, Ripper 6.
Ripper 6, maybe Ripper 6 is like you lost a lot of business for him and now he's like
Ripper,
demoted
yeah, so he's
you.
like he's extra laying into me about it.
Gotcha. Okay. Cool. I love it. All right. Quinn, it's your turn.
Pick a location. Something impossible has happened there. What are people saying happened? I'm going to pick...
These are my favorite kinds of prompts.
The adjustments?
Oh, the ones where it's like some improbable, physically impossible thing is happening.
Whoa.
I'm sorry, I'm looking at all the places. I'm gonna pick the Petrified Forest. I don't know if this is stupid. They blew in the wind.
The trees?
Yep.
Oh!
Oh, so they're flexible.
No.
somehow.
It happened like once.
So like
And
all of the
it was...
like
and
the
it was
forest
like-
became like a ghost forest?
Yeah, almost. So the trees are like as heavy as steel, right? So what happened was they kind of like blew in the wind, and the most like this screech just came out from like around the world. Like the whole world could hear the screech.
Like people in
came
that area were
from-
like deafened.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that came from the forest after they like moved in the breeze like once.
That's cool.
Whoa. Okay. And did they seem to move in the breeze, or was there like hurricane winds that actually made them move in the breeze?
They seem to have moved in the breeze. It was a beautiful sunny day.
Like
There
a
was,
normal
like-
tree would.
Yeah,
Whoa.
there was like a slight breeze
Interesting.
drifted through, and the trees just went, and then
I
just
like
a
that
big
we're getting
screech.
we're narrowing in on there's a mystery underground in that area. I like
That is, I love that whole world the big overarching world mystery is my favorite.
very
kind
cool.
of thing.
What are people saying about that? What's the prevailing theory as to why the petrified forest suddenly screamed?
I think that's why it's called the Petrified Forest, by the way, because of the big scream, not because they're
Not because of
petrified
the
trees.
not because of the petrified forest.
It's because of how petrified you are when you hear it.
I think that some scientists are saying that it's just like the world had an earthquake, and then
Oh, it's
because
like
of like the matter of the trees, it just made like this terrible noise. And then of course like the prophets are like, see, the world once,
Oh, very
everything
cool.
like everything is going in a terrible direction. And then maybe like the 404 is some like insane faction in the 404 is like, those are our gods, they speak to us. Mortal ears couldn't hear their words, but we can decipher them because we're robots.
It's our binary. We have calculated.
Yeah. Right, exactly.
Ooh.
Kit just turned the volume down on his ears.
Awesome. Okay, the screaming.
Gotta keep on an
the
even number.
Scream of the forest. We definitely want to record that. Awesome. All right. My turn. I'll pick Quinn because your character has kind of an outlaw character story. This one. Name a local criminal that CC has double crossed in the past.
Ooh.
I'm going to pick someone in the 404.
Okay. Let's say there's a smuggler that smuggles coven goods into the megalith.
Yes. I think what Cece probably did, she jumped that.
Jumped him? You stole all their stuff?
I set him up for trade. We've been in good relations, and then at some point, like maybe in my clan, they were like, we're running out of resources and we're getting very desperate.
What if this is how you got your mech?
This is how I got my mech.
This is how you got your mech. You stole it.
Yeah.
Ooh, you stole their license.
Yeah, that would be really cool. So yeah, I stole his license.
Cool. Tsunami. So there's a megalith. Did you tweak the mech and then make it more fitting to yourself? Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Let's call him.
So CC stole the license, but not the mech itself.
CC stole the mech and the license, which allowed her to reprint so that she can use the mech in the future. Basically, she stole this person's identity so that she can, since she doesn't have a license. I think I'm gonna say that's really hard to do. What if it? Oh, okay. I'm cooking. What if you jumped this person? You removed their core processor from their robot body, and that was what you attached your fishbowl helmet to.
Okay.
So you're like
you literally body snatched them, and that's why you read as them.
Body snatched them.
You're a mind flayer.
You're a tadpole, yeah.
I love it.
So your robot body is the body of this person, which has like their license attached to it somehow.
To Kit, that is horrifying.
Well, I mean, we did establish that the Algoric have like drones
you.
that they can jump their data consciousness between.
Yeah.
So I don't think they're that. I think they treat their bodies very similar to how we treat mechs. Like,
okay.
They kind of like see them as like vessels through which their data is transmitted.
Very cyberpunky.
I think
whatever the body is. Whatever.
Yeah, it's your sleeve, like in a
Ghost in the Shell kind of
carbon.
Yeah.
Altered carbon.
Altered carbon.
But how interesting would it be if on our like whatever chat room we met on, I have the license of this person that I jumped, and the reason I'm on these forums is so that I can understand how to fake out being like a 404 person because
that's how
someone's
it started,
identity.
and then the romance blossomed. Very cool. Okay.
Yeah.
We should have a name for that person because they want to kill you, probably.
Oh, okay.
A criminal from Megalith. Why don't you give us a name, Seth? This is. Let's say they're a well-known smuggler criminal.
So they're like, are we talking like mid-tier, high tier?
I'm thinking Megalith has pretty high tier in there, but it's probably hard to be a criminal in Megalith. So I think let's say mid-high. Let's mid-high.
Okay.
They have their own gang. Like but they're not like the Dawn of like the whole structure. Robot Mafia.
Oh gosh. Okay. How silly do I want to be with this?
Uh-oh.
Nicolas Cage.
No. No, that dies
Or
with
the cave.
Santa Monica. That fell into Santa Monica.
Fell into the ocean when the pier fell. This is funny to us, but not to anyone else. We played a game that was like kids on bikes, and it took place in Santa Cruz on the pier that fell in the water. It featured Nicolas Cage.
His name is let's call him Raucus.
Okay, cool.
R-A-U-C-O-U-S.
I'm picturing kind of like a big guy, like a bowler hat stogie kind of.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what he is now.
He's not. I hope he's not that much of a stereotype.
Well, you don't have the bowler hat, but I like the idea of like a raucous, like a rumble a lot.
Yeah.
He's like a muscle lot. Cool. Awesome. All right. We definitely want that to be recorded.
Yep.
Wonderful. It's Seth's turn. Here's your card, Seth.
Give me the card.
Give me the card. It's me, Raucus.
We have a lot of stuff. Should we do this? Should this be our last round? I
think we're gonna do two more. I think we'll get back to Seth one more time, and then. So yes, we are. I think we got a lot to work with here.
Name a lie that is told about the area. How did it spread, and how much of it is true? So, I'm gonna say that you said that the battlefield graveyard is kind of like where a lot of the revolution took place.
Yeah, I think it's probably where it ended, right? Like it was mostly in Megalith, and then it like got pushed back there, and that's That's kind of what
I think that a lot of the credit, I think Ripper Six, his captain or whatever, is considered a war hero.
Oh, okay.
I think
Very cool.
he's when there were artillery guns and encampments and stuff, the story is that he went in there and he single-handedly destroyed all of it, dismantled these things. People saw him ripping cannons out of the ground with his bare hands. But in reality, he was there with his troop, and Kit accidentally kicked a canister over and it blew up.
And he got the glory.
And so Ripper Six was like, yes.
So Kit knows that this guy has blown this way out of proportion.
I don't know if Kit knows that. I mean, he would know that Ripper Six is definitely lying about that. But Kit doesn't necessarily think he was involved. It's like, oh, yeah, we did win. I mean, we're here.
Yeah, okay.
But Ripper Six is definitely lying about how that happened.
Interesting, and you're still his flunky. That's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
He's like, no, you keep your mouth... Maybe there's like an unspoken agreement, like you keep your mouth shut and I'll keep you working.
Yeah, like, your livelihood, the fact that you're even alive right now is because, my goodwill.
You're gonna make me roleplay as a mean boss, and I
mean robot. Well, yeah, I might kill him later, so...
Great, okay, cool. I like that.
Give him a silly voice, and then you'll feel better.
Give him a silly voice. It's me, Ripper Six, huh?
It's Vicky Six.
Ripper 6-year-old.
Ripper Six. Ripper 6-year-old.
Okay.
Oh my
god. No!
He's a baby robot. Okay. Cool. Make sure you record that for me. Thank you.
Yeah.
Here is yours, Queen.
Okay, I'm going to pick a location on the map and name something bad that is happening there that is being controlled but cannot be completely stopped or easily removed. The sulfur geysers are rapidly expanding.
Oh no!
Ooh, yes. On a time limit.
Rapidly expanding.
Well, when I say rapidly, I'm not like, I don't mean like
geologically
next year
rapidly.
everything is gonna like turn into the ocean. It's kind of like,
is it rapid enough that there are areas that are like not covered in sulfur and acid that are like suddenly ballooning up and the geyser shoots out?
Yes.
Okay,
so it's kind of like how
Sounds like Belmac City is going to be pretty upset about that.
You know how like
oh yikes,
sinkholes can kind of just happen, and they're like a geological like.
Did you say sinkholes or stinkholes?
Yeah. Sink.
Okay, yeah.
Tell me how this would change if it was stinkholes, though.
Stinkholes sometimes just happen.
Sulfur smells really bad.
It does.
So like it's the kind of same thing with the sulfur geysers, where like when I say they're spreading, I don't mean like the sulfur geysers themselves are kind of spreading out. I mean like a sinkhole happens and then more sulfur geysers. Like
very interesting. That seems like it definitely plays into the density issue and what's going on underneath.
Yeah.
So, again, our mystery goes underground.
It's being and the reason why people haven't like tried to take care of the prophets, even though they are like annoying and like not good people, is because they are, for however or whatever reason, able to kind of predict where the next one is going to happen.
Ooh, that's the name.
And they're just like, okay, well, we'll let them like stay here so that we can make sure that like our city is safe, whatever's going on,
Interesting. Okay.
And maybe there's like some kind of prophet and Belmac City pact. Where the prophets are basically like, we know this area is safe. There will be no sinkholes in this area. You can build your city here, right?
Oh, okay.
In return for like something else.
This has been happening for a while. Okay, interesting. Cool, love it.
Great.
Boop. All right, my turn. Oof. Pick a location on the map where a character or faction is located. Place another location far from that one that is their direct rival. I am going to pick the Ripper 6 Delivery Company. And their direct rival is far from that location, so they are Algoric. We'll say there is a professional, like in this large tower. We'll say like a not so thin, or not so it's Schmamajan. There is a like official planetary delivery system And specifically, this delivery system has orbital drop ordnance, so they have the access to the satellite links that allow them to call resources and anywhere on the planet. And so they've been around much longer and are much more profitable and but they also employ drones almost exactly like you. In fact, I'm going to say they're the same exact model as you.
Yeah.
So they look just like you, except they have like their logo on their robot forehead and no jacket. Yeah. And they're very common. They're all over the place, and they tend to like drop out of pods or get sent back up into space or picked up by passing like air cranes or something. And they are just the accepted mail service of this entire planet. So people going to Ripper 6 tend to either be extremely broke, very local, or have a reason to not work with the algorithm.
Yeah, why would I not want to use the official direct trade route?
Yeah, I think it's like maybe Kit doesn't know, but your company is becoming very synonymous with like illegal transport and smuggling.
I don't get paid to ask questions.
I just bring them the box. Ooh, running down the road. Yeah. So your direct rival. We'll give it a name. Let's call it the.
Oh, I wrote down Schmamazon.
No, it's not going to be Schmamazon.
No, not Schmamazon.
Let's call it Malcor Satlink.
What'd you call it?
Malcor Satlink.
Okay.
And they're like a gigantic company on this planet.
Mixat.
Maxats.
Oh, Maxsat.
Yeah.
Actually, I like Maxsat way more. Let's do Maxsat.
Fine. Whatever.
Mixat? Don't.
Maxsat. It's like MaxTag. Maxsat. So Maxsat is a like one of the most profitable companies on this planet. And they can deliver mechs that have been printed by license. They can send mail legitimately, but it's all above board. It's all legal, and it's always through the algorithm.
It's funny. I think that if we ever have to call in resources during a mission, we'll be using Maxsat instead of my own delivery company.
Well, I did tell you at the end of last session that you're going onto a satellite as the first mission. So.
Yeah.
All right. That was mine. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Okay. So it's Seth's turn.
Okay.
It's your last turn, Seth.
Oh, dang. Okay.
Use your favorite. Pick your favorite. Pick your favorite. I believe in you. Hey, guy. Hey, bud.
Oh, gosh. I have two here, and I don't know which one I want to do.
Pick number 2.
All right. We'll do number 2.
Hooray!
Pick a location on the map. A large crowd is gathered there. What event or situation that has at that location has caused it? And I don't want this to be a downer.
Okay.
So I'm gonna say that in the Algoric in the dome, there is a big music festival going on.
A music festival.
And there are a lot of off-world celebrities that are coming.
Oh, Coachella.
Yeah, kind of like a Coachella.
Space Coachella.
Kind of a South by Southwest kind of thing.
Okay, so Space Coachella is currently occurring in the off-world. Okay, so there's like a huge event going on. That's interesting that it corresponds kind of with Belmax City fighting the Mech Guardian.
Yeah,
I mean that's why they're
maybe they're synonymous. Yeah.
That's why they chose, being in the
this
dome,
planet likes to party.
This is a party. That is what we have established. This is
Oh, don't mind, this, training forest. There's a lot of murder that happens. Just as long as you stay, maybe a couple miles
kind of
away.
to the east. So this is like the first real big interplanetary event after the Megalith's liberation. So like that was a long time ago. And like the war has quieted down enough that this planet isn't considered like contained. Like it's not a war planet anymore.
You know what? I'll answer this in my next Lord drop.
Way.
Ooh.
Okay. Do you have a name for this, or do you want some time to think about it?
I will need some time.
I think
to
it should. Yeah.
kitschy
I would
name.
also love some space celebrities, but we'll dive
here.
into that another time.
Seth, freeze it here and list the name of the thing, and give us like 3 or 4 celebrities that are headlining this thing.
3 or 4.
Dua Lipa.
Whatever.
Space celebrities.
You need to have
Dua-
XG
Dua
and Dua
Lipa.
Lipa there.
Chapel Roan.
Yes.
This takes place in 3 years.
All right. Cool. Quinn, it is your final turn.
Okay, perfect. My question. I don't need the 4th card because I know I'm going to play this.
Boom.
Name a local leader. What sort of role do they play in the communities of the area? Then choose a player. I'm going to pick. Space Coachella showed up. Okay, I'm gonna pick the local leader of the Algoric Offworld. That is like the tourist specialist.
Okay.
Who is trying to bring a tourist economy to this planet.
Oroko.
Yes. Is that
Okay.
what the planet's
Yeah,
called?
it's
I
down
don't
here
actually know.
behind.
Okay.
It's like
yes.
Oroko.
Yeah, so Oroko's like tourism is terrible.
Probably
and now,
quite bad. It's an acidic planet that
Yeah,
was war-torn for decades.
and maybe some kind of like I don't know, some like evil billionaire from planet Earth is trying to turn this into like the next tourist at like flipping a house.
Interesting. They want
But
to
they're
make.
trying.
They want to ruin the season where it's not covered in a poisonous cloud.
Yes.
Like the only time that this planet is livable and you can go outside, it's
And
absolutely
it's the best weather, you know.
see
but
the
yeah.
super bloom.
Yeah, pretty much. So they're trying to turn this place into like a tourist attraction during
Cool.
the regrowth season.
What if the Space Coachella is like the first time this billionaire is making like a unit, like a galaxy-wide event for the holiday, the Bloom holiday?
Yes.
So maybe the Bloom holiday is occurring, and they're like, "That's when we're gonna throw a fucking festival, and then people can look outside, and it'll be like flowers growing out of desolate nothingness as the music is happening." That's the holiday that's occurring. Dig it.
Yep.
Yeah.
So maybe the festival should be named after whatever we name this holiday.
Okay.
Very cool. And then there's like a little something for the boys. We're gonna go fight a ancient guardian of the Black Obelisk.
Come visit scenic Oroko. See our giant death mech.
See our mystery obelisk.
I'd like
Visit
to
our
think,
nanite forest.
Tour our mysterious, unexplored underground caverns. Don't
like
go
to
to the terraforming station. Cool. What player are you choosing, by the way?
yeah. Oh yeah. I'll pick Seth.
Seth.
Okay.
Who's our billionaire? Who's our space trillionaire? Elon Musk.
Secret? No, I don't want to. Don't.
No.
too soon.
Say not his name.
Do not speak the name of the Dark One.
His name is.
Sheikh Sula, the one ruler.
I think he just goes by Nautilus.
Nautilus.
That's his.
Is he a Lancer?
Hate him.
Is that his handle?
It's his handle.
Dude, oh my god, no, he should be a billionaire Lancer that's like a Lancer cosplayer.
Oh yeah, like he bought all the good shit.
Yeah.
But, like
Oh
he
my
doesn't
gosh.
know anything.
And
about
he says
it.
that he's the one that grinded all the levels.
Yeah.
I think he has weird specific
Yeah,
tags
I'm a
that
license
say
level
Nautilus
12.
mask.
But it's like his Lancer build makes no sense.
Looks like your Lancer build is just guns. There's no mech
Well,
in here.
guns make my enemy die. So I thought, I'm kind of a disruptor.
I hate him.
Let's see. And the secret that this person is hiding that could compromise their position.
Nautilus.
I think he is the one who he secretly who owned Megalith before the 404?
I think it was an Algoric construction.
Okay.
Then they brought in like off-world drones and stuff to start constructing it.
And
It was
and
the
so,
original off-world platform, the intended off-world platform.
Okay, then what I'm saying is he is a human.
Mhm.
He would consider himself, if anything, algoric, if he'd be closer to that. But he backed the 404.
Oh,
In the revolution.
and he made a ton of money off of it.
Yeah.
Oh, but now he is a celebrity, like billionaire from the Algoric. So like, if
Yeah, so if it came out that he backed the non-humans...
interesting. Okay. So maybe there is something. What if a billionaire used their money to help a revolution?
Manifesting.
Manifesting. An ethical billionaire who is still kind of a shitbag.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, okay.
Well, maybe
Because,
he thought they'd lose. Maybe he thought they'd lose, and he wanted. You know what? Oh, what if he backed the megalith? Like he gave them the weapons and stuff they needed to, and like introduced the virus that removed the servitor programming that made them subservient. Because he invested in the off-world station, and so he wanted Megalith to become free, thinking that they would lose, right? And then he basically created the enemy so that he could invest in he created the problem to invest in the solution.
Yeah, because like I didn't want. Because when you mentioned like he
no
backed the
ethical
revolution,
billionaires.
Yeah, I was like, I don't want this guy to be a good guy. So yeah, his intent was destroy the megalith so that he could back the other off-world station.
Interesting. Now he's kicking himself because megalith is becoming its own independent power.
Yeah, and they still have the space elevator.
Yeah. All right, very cool. Okay, excellent.
Cool.
That is our last round. Now,
wait, don't you have a card?
Sure, whatever. I'll do this one.
Technically, right? I don't know.
I just drew a random one. Add a monument or statue to the map, then choose a player. They tell us why that location is important to the nearby people. I'm going to add it to here. Whoop. Monument. And this is not how you spell monument, is it? Whatever.
It's just a monument.
Yeah, this is between the terraforming station and the Algoric, kind of outside it, and this is a contended area where there's lots of Lancer fights. And I'll pick you, Quinn. Why is this location outside of the Algoric off-world station that has a monument important to the nearby people?
I think it was the place where the Algoric first landed and tried to establish a like civilian life, but it just didn't work because they got burned by the acid rain.
Oh, they land like, look at this serene planet, and then they landed. Okay, so this is the first contact monument.
It's the first contact monument, but it's also
Groundbreakers. The Groundbreakers Memorial. Let's call it that.
Yeah. I think it's also probably where, I don't know if in your brain lore the Algoric already had access to like Lancer tech.
Probably. I imagine so. But I'm open to interpretations. We're building this together.
It would be interesting, I think, if this is where they had to make like the first Oroko safe Lancer.
Oh, interesting.
And
they built like the first Lancers that touched down here got corroded and destroyed.
Yeah, exactly. And they had to like rapidly figure out how they could keep Lancers safe, I guess, like from corrosion here.
Awesome. So maybe the monument is made out of like the first few Lancers that got like dissolved, and they're like
stuck
melted
there.
statues, and it became like a memorial of the people who broke ground on Oroko. Awesome. Yeah, I love that.
It's probably sacred to the Algoric, but
it's also outside of their shield, so it's kind of like in the middle of a battleground between Lancers.
Yeah.
Cool. No, I dig that. I like that. It's like a contested territory that they really want to get under their shield.
Yeah.
Cool. Very good.
Okay.
Awesome. That's the planet of Oroko.
Great.
We have our start, and we'll start our next session with our first actual game of Lancer.
Actual session 1.
Yay!
We'll have our guest. I will fill them in on all of this. We'll get the character created. But yeah, next episode will be our actual first episode. Thank you all for watching.
Thank you for watching. I hope you liked this
you.
game.
Yeah, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Mwah.
I'm gonna cut all that. It won't make any sense to anybody.
Bye.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you like this video, we would really appreciate it if you'd like, subscribe, or leave a comment. It really goes a long way to helping us grow this channel, if for no other reason besides the fact that it makes us feel good. See you next time.